Hello and welcome sa isa na namang video ng ganito lang yarn. Wait, tanggalin ko dito kung ginawa na. Anywho, before we proceed, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nanood ng ating first episode, which is this one. Well, I did receive a lot of feedback regarding the first episode and it was all good. Wala naman ako na-receive na pangit na feedback. So maraming salamat po sa lahat na nanood, nag-like at nag-share sa Facebook. Also, if you shared it in YouTube, maraming salamat. Now, to continue with Ganito Lang Yarn episodes, so for this episode, or episode number 2, I will be teaching you how to use drum roll, Photoshop. So, unlike yung ating first episode, so unfortunately, hindi ako makaisip ng magandang intro para dito. Pero, kala mo walang intro, no? Charot. And again, I will be teaching you guys on this video basics of how to use Photoshop. Now, katulad nung sa unang episode ng Ganito Lang Yarn, kailangan talaga gumagano ako pag may ganito lang yarn na sinasabi. For Photoshop, it's an application where you can actually edit photos. So, it's not something that is from the name itself, kasi if you say Photoshop, it's a shop that sells photos, so it's not like that. So, for Photoshop, it's an application on your computer. I'm not quite sure if there's a mobile app type, pero marami namang applications na kagaya. And buti na lang di lumabas yung aking kakambal, sasabihin, marami namang applications, whatever. But yeah, Photoshop that I am talking about is the one used or using a computer. I will need, of course, again, my computer. Hopefully, I can find it today. Last time, naiwan ko yun sa CR. So, unfortunately, hindi ko mahanap yung computer. So again, why do we use Photoshop first before we proceed on actually using the application? So we use Photoshop for multiple things. It can be if you're kinda, the type of person like me before, that all your pictures needs to be on black and white, pwede nyo gawin yan sa Photoshop. Pag kumukuha kayo ng picture tapos sa background is ang daming tao, pwede nyo tanggalin yung mga background na yun. Pwede rin naman na, kunwari, edit mo yung photo na picture mo, tapos itabi mo sa yung crush mo. Pwede rin naman yung mga pampaganda effect, pampatanggal ng pores, ng wrinkles, and technically lahat ng pwede mong gawin when it comes to editing. So pag naisip nyo editing, pwede siyang gawin sa Photoshop. Possible na hindi nyo pa naiisip, alam na ni Photoshop. Ganun siya kagaling. So Photoshop is actually a paid application, kagaya nung Premiere. So let's continue. Alright. So when you open up Photoshop, it will look like this. Putik, ginagawa ko ba? Ganito. Alright. So this is how Photoshop will look like. There are a few windows that will be open pag binuksan nyo si Photoshop, and hindi yung windows or bintana sa bahay nyo. So, yung mga nakikita nyo rito, just like this one, this one, this one, and this one. These are called windows, okay? Can be open and closed here on the window tab at the top. You just have to click on it, and then there's all the windows available on the list. Now for me, I only use all or what you see on my screen right now. So we have the tools window, which is automatically opened up whenever you open up the safe. So whenever you open Photoshop, even if it's the first time you open it, this should automatically be open. We have here the navigator window, and we have the layers window. So most of the time, etong tatlo lang yung ginagamit ko. So for you to create a new project, first off, you have to click on File, New, or Open if you already have a file to be edited, okay? Now, I prepared a few exercises for us to go through para sa video na ito, and I will try to make them as basic and as understandable as humanly possible. Wow! So, yung ganito lang yan, part 3 will be how to speak in English. Yes! Come on! So para sa exercise na to, gagamitin natin yung picture ng aking misis at ang kanyang dalawang best friend. Again, let's go back to Photoshop. Alright, so ito yung picture na aking tinutukoy, and this will serve as our first example for the exercise that we'll do for this video. However, first off, gaya po ng mga nakikita nyo ngayon sa social media like Facebook, pamine pink dun po sa matangkad at pamine black dun po sa katabi ni Erica sa kaliwa. Di pa ako bugaw, sorry. So gagawin muna natin yung madalas kong gawin dati. Gawin lahat ng image black and white. Go to image at the top, adjustment, and then you have the option for black and white. So once you click on that, automatically your image will be set to black and white. So if you really want to set your picture to black and white, then this will do it. Click on OK, and then that's it. Now, always keep in mind na in Photoshop, there's always a history of whatever you do. So if ever biglang naisip nyo, ay, ako pala siyang gawin black and white, oh my god, pwede nyo i-undo. So either Control Z or pwede nyo rin i-open yung window nyo for history. That's lesson number 1. So lesson number 2 is something na madalas ko rin gawin. Ito yung paggawa ng photocopy ko sa picture. So yung kunwari, dalawa kami. Ako tsaka ako. Mga trip ko sa buhay, huwag nyo akong pakialaman. So papakita ko muna sa inyo yung end result. Parang meron silang kakambal on the left side, pero hindi ito minirror. So these are two pictures that is placed one at top of the other. If we take out this base or yung ating picture kanina, makikita nyo na binura ko yung nakapaligid dun sa image para magmukhang meron silang photocopy on the left side. Okay, so next exercise natin is similar dun sa black and white, pero may idadagdag tayo onte. So medyo sikat din yung black and white yung background, tapos like yung subject, kunwari silang tatlo, tanggalin na natin itong kapareho nila, is yung may kulay lang. So they light up the world effect camera. Charis! Now, how to do that? You have to have a copy of your base. Here on the layers, dito magpapakita lahat ng photos na meron ka in Photoshop. You just have to, click, copy, and then paste. It will create a new layer just like this one. Tapos ginawa ko yung exercise natin kanina para sa black and white, para dito sa una. So, tanggalin natin to. So, as you can see, meron siyang parang hole or may binura na akong part, which is para dun sa base na hindi naman black and white, para mag-appear yung may kulay na subject. Gets nyo? Ako na gets ko eh. So, end result would be like this. So, black and white yung background, napaka-cinematic, napaka-emotional. Sabay, boom! May kulay sila. Alright, so that's for this exercise on, the picture of my wife plus her two best friends. Alis na ako. So, kanina wala naman tayo masyadong ginamit. Pinakita ko lang sa inyo kung paano siya gawin. Pero hindi ko pinakita sa inyo kung ano yung tools na ginamit natin, which is actually, it's just one. We call that the eraser tool. Yun yung nagbura dun sa mga hindi ko kailangan na part sa image. Now, for this one, I'll be introducing a few more tools na pwedeng gamitin sa Photoshop. So, we'll take this image as an example. So, balik tayo kay Photoshop. So, itong picture na to kinuna namin sa Mount Anawangin or Anawangin. So, I'll be introducing the clone stamp tool. So, ang purpose nitong tool na to is to get a certain part of an image and then clone it to another location dun sa same image. Example, so the clone stamp tool is located here. It's this one. So for this, let's say for example, etong picture na to is kailangan etong ating subject lang na nasa taas yung nakalabas. So tatanggalin natin lahat ng tao rito, which can be done easily. So for the clone stamp tool, here's what we're gonna do. So I already have it selected. So tatanggalin natin muna si Don, etong subject na nandito, kasi kailangan nga lang natin si J, yung ating subject number 1, ang primary. Siya lang yung nakalabas. So, as for example, since the texture here is kinda rugged, medyo magulo, so hindi masyado mahirap mag-edit or palabasin na ganun talaga yung itsura niya as compared sa original. So, what you need to do is, again, this is already selected. Ito yung paggagayahan natin. So, first things first, press Alt on your keyboard. It will change the cursor to this one. This simply means na isa-select niya ang area na yan na paggagayahan. Once you press Alt and then click, so naset na siya. All you have to do is like paint, you just click and then drag. Now you might do this again para and voila! Wala na siya. So you can do that for all the other subjects here. Para matira lang is si JJ dito sa taas. And then you're done. right? Now, that's one way of using the clone stamp tool. Pwede rin siyang gamitin for doing the duplicate effect, yung dalawa kayo. So, pwede nyo gawin yun, i-clone stamp nyo lang para lumabas. However, similar na similar. So, it's just cloning what is already shown on the image. Alright? Now, Photoshop is smart enough para, as you can see here, hindi 100% yung pagkakakuha niya rito. So, nagbe-blend siya, pero hindi siya super blending na, alam mo yun, siya nang bahala mag-isip para sa'yo. So, unti lang i-edit niya para at least hindi magmukhang edited. So, you can do that for all the subjects here. However, we're not gonna proceed on doing that kasi maubos yung ating oras. Now, let's continue with the next example. So, another thing that we can do on this image is to somewhat change the background dito sa may bandang taas para magmukhang iba yung nangyayari sa scene compared to sa original. So, the original scene is, our subject JJ is actually trying to get a photo using GoPro and the stick. Pero what I did is I edited it 2 times before. So, medyo matagal-tagal na kasi ito eh. So, first is I added koke, isang higanting koke sa likod. And then, naglagay ako ng kamay na nakita ko lang sa Google. Inedit ko lang na medyo ka-texture niya si koke tsaka yung ating background na parang doomsday. Pinalitan ko rin yung GoPro ng espada. Another thing that I did for this photo or I edited is ginawa ko si JJ na Thor. Pinalitan ko yung GoPro ng hammer, nilagyan ko ng lightning, tapos background is, you know, just like that. So that's for our lesson for this image. And last but not the least, is in Photoshop, you can also create your own images. That's right. So animated images, 3D images, and for me, I only used like animated images of, you know, any subject that I can think of. Most of the time it's me. And an example of that is this. The newest addition to my creation, which is the tribute image, and it's this. This image is consisted of multiple layers, as you can see. Umabot na tayo sa layer 152. Hindi ko alam kung nalipat ko lang yan. 153 pala, sorry. But it's consisted of a lot of layers and a lot of shapes. So, when it comes to creating your own image, all of these at the bottom are shapes. So, if I remove them one by one, most likely you'll notice that a few shapes are gonna disappear. Another bonus when it comes to creating, you know, images like this, ako kasi medyo madaya ako. When I do images like this, ina-animate ko siya. So, I normally have a picture that I can copy or that I can, you know, place shapes on. So, ang ginagawa ko, so kumukuha muna ako ng picture. For the tribute picture, I took this one. And then, I placed the shapes on this picture one by one. So, what I do is like, for example, for my eyes, you know, I'll create a circular shape with the circle tool or ellipse tool. Just like this. And then, I move on to, you know, creating shape after shape after shape after shape hanggang sa matapos ko siya. So, if you're wondering gaano katagal bago ko natapos to, 3-4 hours. So, ganun siya katagal. Ganun lang yung mga ginagawa ko sa Photoshop. So, at least ngayon alam niyo na yung mga kalokohan ko sa Photoshop kung paano siya gamitin. So, if you're planning on editing your own photos, you're planning on, you know, creating your own images, I encourage you to do so kasi at this day and age, kadalasan nasa bahay tayo and imbes na, you know, ubusin natin yung oras sa paglalaro, sa panonood ng TV, why not learn something new, right? Alright, so for this video, if you liked it, please don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't yet, share this video to others who are planning on using the application. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. See you all on my next episode, which is episode number 3 of Ganito Lang Yarn. And you know what they say, or what I say, what I normally say whenever I end my videos. Bye-bye.